Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's lovely that you joined us for the sixth episode of Living News. I am Corinne, and this is my co host, Johnny.
Hi everyone.
And we are looking forward to spending another episode with you, and we thank you for coming along on this journey with us.
Yeah, Corinne, I'm really looking forward to the episode, and there's some great things tonight.
Mm.
Something I've been wanting to tell people about for quite a long time, and tonight's our opportunity to share that with people, and something that's really exciting. And I can't wait for our main interview. And we've got some other good stuff as well tonight in our normal segments. So
Okay.
it's going to be a great night. And don't forget, folks, to just communicate with us. If you want to send us a message either from Facebook or YouTube, just send it through to us and we'll communicate with you if we can. And also, if you've got a question for the people we're interviewing today, just send it through, and if we can put it up, we'll put it up as well.
Yeah, lovely. And as always, we have two coordinators in the background as well. We have Sam and we have Pam as well. So feel free to, send us a message or whatever, and they'll be more than happy to chat with you.
Yeah, and don't forget to share it too. While you're watching on
Absolutely.
Facebook, you can press share and share it with other people so other people can watch it as well, your friends and your neighbours or whoever. Just join them in.
Absolutely. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. We'll get right into it today. And we're going to have our Living Well segment.
Welcome to our third episode of our series that we are doing in collaboration with our health team. We finished up with 2 letters. The first one was N, which was for nutrition. I hope you all remember our penguin. The second letter was E, which was for exercise. And I really hope you all have been exercising. Today's my turn. And the third letter is W. W stands for water. We are all so blessed. We are so lucky and fortunate that we live in a country where we have access to clean drinking water. There are so many children and adults in this world who have no access to clean drinking water. Did you know that 60 to 70% of your body is made with just water? That is a lot of water. It is important to drink a lot of water and to stay hydrated because water keeps your body well. There are some important things that water does to your body. It has a cushioning effect. All the important organs that is inside your body, like your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, and your brains, water helps it stay cushioned and safe. Water also helps in digestion. Once you eat up your food, water helps in digesting all those food and giving you all the good nutrition. If you drink enough water, the food is going to be so hard to digest. It also flushes all the toxins out of your body. What does toxins mean? All the yucky, gunky stuff that is inside your body, which can make you really sick, is called toxins. Just like how it is important to have a clean shower with clean water and clean the outside of your body, water that you drink helps in cleaning the inside of your body and flush all the gunky stuff away. It is also important to keep your organs clean and well. Water is important for your heart because the blood that pumps around your heart is important to have enough water. If you didn't have enough water in your blood is going to be all sticky and slimy. Ew! Water also keeps your skin nice and beautiful. Sometimes when you don't have enough water in your body, you can have, that's right, dehydration. That is a pretty big word. And sometimes when you don't drink water and you're dehydrated, you can see it on the outside. Your lips and your mouth are going to be so dry and parched. Your eyes are going to be dry. Your skin is going to be dry. And your head, you can get dizzy and fuzzy in your head too. And you know what? You probably are going to be peeing a little bit. Then normally you would go to the toilet. You drink a lot of water, you pee a lot to flush it out. But if you don't drink enough water, you're just going to pee a little bit. So it is really, really important to drink water and keep those levels of water in your body up. Water is the best drink in the whole world. You might tell me, what about milk? What about juice? Well, you know what, boys and girls, I would just stick to water. This is the best drink in the whole world. Research tells us that it is important to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. And research also tells us if you want to increase the benefits of drinking water, then probably you should drink water as soon as you wake up. It is important to drink water half an hour before your food. And it is also important to drink water half an hour before your showers. This can increase the benefits that water is going to give your body. Summer is just around the corner and it's going to get really, really hot. So if you want to keep your body nice and cool, make sure you drink enough water. The most important thing would be to remember to carry your water bottle whenever you leave home. Stay hydrated and stay blessed, everyone. Remember, drink lots of water. God bless you all.
Wow, great talk by Dina. And Dina, we thank you very much for, and I should say Nurse Dina, for presenting that segment on health today. You know, Corinne, with water, do you know about 80% of headaches are caused through lack of water? So
there you go.
That's a lot. So if you don't want a headache, have water. The other thing too is you should have at least 1 clear pee per day. So there you go, folks.
There you go.
That means if you get a clear pee a day, that means you've had enough water. So,
and also, I think, you know, during winter, I mean, I know that this video was done by Dina and she talks about summers coming up.
Yep.
Because she did it a few months back. But I don't know about you, but at the moment, with the heater being on all of the time, more than ever, we need to be drinking water and making sure that we're properly hydrated because of all those things, obviously, that Dina already covered. So, yeah, very important reminder.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. With heaters on, people dehydrate very quickly and they don't drink enough water in winter. They think that it's mainly summer, but...
Absolutely. That's when you get the headaches.
Have your water every day.
For sure.
So, yeah, thanks, Corinne. So, Corinne, we're going to move on. You're going to tell us a little bit about what's next?
Well, actually, you told me about this next people we're going to interview, and that was a life changer. I remember saying, "What? Never heard of them." And at the moment, I'm so hooked on them. Honestly, I listen to them all of the time. I kid you not. I used to go for a walk and have in my ears. Used to have music. Now I've got them in my ears. Now I'm cooking and I've got them in my ears. I just love their program. I love the shows and I always feel so much better spending time listening to uplifting messages and songs.
So I think you've given away half of what it's about. So why don't we actually bring, let's start the spotlight now. Okay, let's bring our guests on for tonight. We've got 2 guests, Robbie and Michael.
Hi, Robbie and Michael.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. So so Robbie and Michael, people may know now what this is about, but there's a sign behind Michael at the top there.
Yeah.
That says Faith FM.
Absolutely. I'm hooked, guys. I'm hooked.
Robbie's got Faith FM. I said before that for ages I've been wanting to put Faith FM on because we just had to get the right timing because we did have other programs that we had lined up previously. But it's just such an exciting thing, Faith FM.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really pleased that you guys are able to join us tonight and to share a bit about Faith FM with our audience. So Robbie and Michael, would you like to just give us a little bit of background and maybe the history of Faith FM and how it's all started?
Yeah, go for it, Michael.
Sure, no worries. Yep, no worries. Hopefully my audio works. We had a bit of problems earlier before, but yes, so Faith FM has been going since 2008. It started as an initiative in a group of small regional churches in country Victoria. There was a number of people who just had a burden on their heart that God wanted us to find new ways of reaching people in our communities. And as we prayed together, as we asked the Lord, what should we do? Real burden came on our heart to use radio to reach people, and that seemed pretty crazy because none of us had any experience in that. But God doesn't need experienced people; He needs willing people. And that was back in 2008. And today, now around Australia, there are over 200 radio stations reaching. It's around about 6 or 7 million people. We just switched on Western Sydney about 4 weeks ago, which brought another 1 million people into the mix. And it's just been amazing, really exciting to see what God's been doing since 2008, just steadily growing, reaching more and more people, and excited to be here with you tonight.
Can I just interrupt? I want you to continue, but while you were just talking about the locations, all the channels, we thought we'd just bring up on screen just to show how many stations that you've got around Australia. And
we got a map of that, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got a map of that. And
that will come on.
Yeah,
that's
it.
Here we
so
go.
we've got a map there that shows all around Australia, all the different stations that Faith FM have, as far as Lord Howe Island.
Wow,
So,
that's great.
Thanks for that, Sam.
So I have a question.
It's about 216 broadcast sites now. I was talking to Paul, our engineer guy, the other day, and he said it's 216 sites that we're broadcasting in, which is absolutely amazing considering less than 6 months ago we were only just getting to 200. And it's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, Michael. I just wanted to show that map just to show all those locations that you spoke about, but continue.
Yes, please. Can you hear us, Michael?
Yeah, no, thanks, John. So when we, I guess as we look back over the past and how God's led, it's I guess the burden on our heart from the beginning was to have radio that would change, had the potential to change people's lives. Now, when we began, there was not a lot of, we were mainly playing pre-recorded content, a lot of it coming from overseas, but we're trying to choose life-changing content. And, from the beginning, God gave us the privilege of connecting us up with a couple of people here and there who we heard stories of lives that were being changed. Now, when God gives us a mission to do, we don't need to ask questions and ask him, is it really working? And is that if he puts a burden on our heart, it's something that we need to do anyway. And we know that in heaven we'll see the results of whatever it is that God puts a burden on our hearts to do for his name. But it's always exciting when God does show you and connect you up with other people. And there's a statistic that's quoted commercially in radio around the world, and that is for every person that you hear from, there's another 1,000 other people out there that you don't know about. And today, if we're judging by the people that we're hearing from every year, it's reaching around about 500,000 people, and that's a fairly conservative figure.
Wow,
is the number of people that it's probably connecting with.
That's great.
And like the stories from around the country. Robbie, you've met a few people recently whose lives have been impacted, and God has blessed through the ministry of Faith FM. I don't know if you'd like to share any of them now, or if is there something else somewhere else where you guys would like to go first? Then
go for it.
Yeah,
go for it, Robbie.
So for those who are tuning in, Michael is the station manager of Faith FM. He's been in the role. He was actually one of the pioneers in the early days when it started as a volunteer, and now he's leading the team based in Melbourne. My role at Faith FM is I'm the content and promotions manager. I've been with the team for about 2 years. Previously, I was a pastor, so I've had both sides of Faith FM. I've seen the benefits of it from a pastoral point of view, and now working in the administrative side. So my role is to oversee content, the creation of content. I work with our production studios. We've got 4 studios around the country. We've got one in Newcastle, which is creating the morning show. We've got one in Adelaide, which creates the afternoon show. We've got one in Melbourne, which does all the sort of production stuff, post-production stuff. And then we've got one in Tasmania, which does our mornings show as well. And so we oversee all that. We've seen some tremendous growth in probably the last 3 years. And that growth has been specifically, it's been 2 things. One's been that we've increased our footprint, which is what Michael oversees every day with the engineer guys. In my space, we've seen incredible growth in engagement from listeners. So these are people who are just sitting out, typical Aussies who are listening to Faith FM day in, day out. And as they're connecting with the station, they end up connecting with communities of faith. They make decisions that transform their lives. And so I've had the opportunity over the last 2 years to travel around the country, meeting and greeting these people who have had their lives impacted, getting their stories, understanding what life was like before, and then how Faith FM facilitated them meeting the life changer himself, Jesus. And so, like, we have an internal mission statement for Faith FM, which is we're all about connecting Australians with the life-changing gospel. That's what we're about. And like, I'll share a quick story. There's a lady in Coffs Harbour. Her name's Janice. She had no religious background at all. She had come from pretty tough childhood, actually. Parents were separated. Father was abusive. So she left home about 14, grew up. This is going back a few years. And when COVID hit in Australia back in 2020, with all if you remember the news, it was death counts every night. It was death counts out of China, death counts around the country, in Italy and things. And so Janice was asking herself, what's going to happen when I die? Like, I don't know. And so it just so happened that the next day she was getting into a taxi to go to a hospital, like a doctor's appointment. And in the taxi driver was playing Faith FM. And the message that she walked in on was a Bible study about what happens when you die.
Yeah.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Wow. So she reached out to the station. She talked to Yuli, one of our ladies at the station, and connected, wanted some more resources. We put her in touch with the local community of faith there in her area, and she just thrived with all this new information about Jesus and how it changes lives now and in eternity. And so she's now a follower of Jesus. She got baptized beginning of middle of last year. Losing track of the years here, but yeah, absolutely amazing. And I just met with her again about 3 months ago. I was in Coffs Harbour, and she's just like, I want to thank Faith FM for how much they have changed my life. And I'm like, praise the Lord. So the stories are great. One guy I like, he was in a tractor. He had he was just plowing a field, and he had nothing else to listen to except Faith FM in the tractor. And so he ends up listening through
that's awesome.
He became a follower of Jesus too. So there's amazing stories. I could go on all night about stories of people's lives.
Yeah, I imagine that you can. I imagine you can. But it brings me to a question though, because you say that you're on radio, but can people only listen to you on radio? Are there other ways that they can listen to you?
That's a good question, John. We live in an age where we've got a lot of choice in terms of the ways that we can consume media. And Faith FM, we need to embrace all of those choices. Faith FM, as well as being on air on radio, we're on the web. We have a mobile app. We use podcasts. We use all of these different ways of distributing content to people. And I guess it's people often ask, why on earth would you want to use radio in this day and age? Well, it's amazing. When you look at where the politicians go to when it's election time, it's often the radio stations rather than the TV stations they go to. It's surprising, but you only need to look in the commercial sector. People like radio is still an extremely strong influencing voice in the community. Radio is listened to a lot on job sites, listened to a lot in the car. For myself, I tend to listen mainly to podcasts in the car, but if I haven't got anything lined up already, what do? You hit the seek button and you find something to listen to. And therein lies the power of radio, the power of the seek button, because on the internet, people need to go looking for you unless friends share it or something like that. But with radio, it's a bit like having if you're trying to start up a business in a town, it's a bit like the difference between starting in the back blocks versus starting on the main street. If you're on the main street, people see you, they stumble across you, they get to know you. Yeah, once you've got a reputation, people will find you anywhere. But in the meantime, being that visible presence, and that's what radio offers here in Australia. It's a credible voice that is respected, and people will go and find it through often through the seek button. In fact, we've found in many towns where we've established stations, and where the people have been involved with establishing them, they may not have even done any advertising to let people know there's a station, but people find it. It's just that seek button, and they just find it. And yes, for sure, we try and do all the other things, like once people get listening, often they'll go over to using the mobile app, because then they can choose the content when they listen to. They can delay broadcast it, all of those sorts of things. But yeah, you need to be in all channels.
Yeah,
I think.
Go on. You go.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I think both of you have been saying things that I love to hear, connecting with people. And I think Faith FM does that so well, because the content, that you are reaching the community, and the content, sometimes I have heard, talks, and then rather than assuming that the community will know what it is, they go back and they explain it. They bring it back down a notch. And I think that's really important. That's why you can connect, because we're not just using the language that we would expect everybody to know, but we're just going to where the people are at. And that's definitely one of your fortes, just the fact that you can connect with people that way.
Yeah,
Go on.
That's
I was going to say that's why. Go on, Robbie.
I was going to say that's why we've created a lot of new live programming, or Australian programming, because Australians understand Australians. And sometimes when you import, as good as the material is from overseas, it doesn't always resonate. So having shows like Aussie Pastor Live on Tuesday afternoons. I was
going to say that's my favourite.
To the Aussie. We've got Drive Time. These guys are doing it live every night. They talk about Australian issues. Breakfast Show, same thing. Tassie Encounters. So we have all these really, really local shows aiming at a local audience, which I think resonates really well.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I was going to say before, Corinne. My favourite show on Faith FM is the Aussie Pastor.
Yeah, he's good.
I like listening to Golliman, and it's just really down to earth.
Oh, isn't he just? I love him too.
And he makes things so simple for people to understand.
That's very important.
And sometimes you hear him when he's got a guest on, and they're saying something quite complicated. He rephrases it so that it's in everyday language.
So important.
And so, I like listening to the Aussie
So
Pastor.
important. And also, Johnny, I like the fact that you have so many different programs. There's a marriage program I've listened to on a Friday.
One with the San.
Health,
hospital.
So therefore you're tapping into different interests that people have as well. You know what I mean?
There's one for young people. We're trying to reach, obviously, a biblical framework. We want people to understand biblical literacy. We also want people to understand the health impact, the wholeness of the health. Like, as you guys just showed before, it was a really good program. We also want to tap into the family, parenting programs, kids programs. Yes, and then we also touch on some of the financial issues too. So we're trying to do a holistic approach in our content to really resonate as a holistic thing. It's not just Bible. It's Bible in action.
Yeah.
And Robbie, I can just say that probably ties in with the slogan. Like, Faith FM has the slogan, positively different radio. And that's not just a little flippant thing that we say. The reason is because God wants to make a positive difference in every area of our lives. He wants us to live an abundant life. And so, we believe that, and we want people to, be able to experience that in all areas of life. And, we still are looking for good quality Australian content in a number of areas. But that's our goal, is to put the positively different content that can show that, God wants that positive difference in every area of our lives.
Yeah. Can I just explain something? Thanks, Sam, for putting up those radio stations. If you could put them up again. Just something we probably need to explain to people, that depending on what region you're in, or what area, on that map that we showed before, there was orange, yellow, green, and those colours represent the different stations depending on where you are, which tower it best suits where you are. So So there's 3 different radio stations there that matches the different colours. And so wherever you are, you might have to tune into a different station. So Faith FM's not always on the same station if you're travelling.
Yeah, fair enough. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I just find having downloaded the app, the Faith FM app, and, running it through the car for Bluetooth is actually, then you don't miss out on anything at all. It's just all the time, wherever you are.
Well, I don't actually have Faith FM on radio at my place because I'm
Same.
out of range.
Yeah.
But I do it online, and so that, you've got the content there all the time. And it's actually good. I listen to it while I'm working.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Listen to it in the background. Yeah.
And you can
So
get
we
the
had
app-
a whole list of questions that we wanted to ask you guys, but I think
we've covered some of
we've
them. But
covered
I
a lot
do
of
want to
them.
mention something though. Is this is great work that you guys are doing, and that's why we really wanted to bring you guys on.
Yeah.
Is to let more people know about this great work that you're doing. But how can people help you? Because I'm sure it costs a lot of money. Do you have some sort of partnership that you do?
Yeah,
So
right. So we actually operate with a pretty healthy, when I say healthy, a small budget. So we're actually doing a lot for the small amount of investment that we're putting in, compared to some of the competitors out there in the space. Like they're spending 10 times more than we're spending in some instances. So for us, it costs us. We need to raise $700 a day to do what we're doing at Faith FM. And so what we have a partner program for anyone who wants to get involved. We take any donation, obviously, but we specifically love to get people involved with joining a subscription where it's $1 a day or $30 a month. And if you sign up for that, then if we get 700 people sign up to that in total, then we don't need to so much worry about fundraising. We can focus our energy into the content creation side of stuff.
Yeah.
But some people like to give once off, sometimes lump sum, sometimes like to do it monthly. But if you join the $1 a day program, we will before June 30th, just so happens to be, I've got one here, we'll give you what we're calling our Faith FM mission mug. So on the front here, it's got a Bible verse here it says faith comes by hearing. And obviously we're a radio station, so we like to emphasize the hearing side. We've got our Faith FM promotional thing on this side. But the cool thing this mug is, this is what we call our mission mug. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little QR code there on the mug.
Yep.
So with this mug, if you scan that QR code, it will take you straight to the website and start live playing the radio on your phone, straight off the mug.
Oh, wow.
The mug, and you start listening to Faith FM right on your mug. So it's so cool. What we got people doing is leaving this in tea rooms, in offices, giving it to friends as gifts, and it's giving people the chance to tune into Faith FM from the mug. It's absolutely amazing. So we're giving away this mug for free. It's limited edition for free to anybody who joins up in our $1 a day program for the end of June 30th, or any donation before June 30th. So this is a pretty exciting gift you'll get. But yeah, look, it's $700 a day. It's not that much in the grand scheme of things. We're 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 216 broadcast sites, 6 million potential audience. $700 a day is not that much. And so we're really grateful for those who do support Faith FM, because we are a donor-driven ministry. It's absolutely amazing what God's done.
Yeah. And as much as, we want people to help you, they don't have to contribute to listen to you because it's free to air. So, which is awesome.
We're not one of those hard sell sort of, we have those monthly telethons. We got to, 10 minutes, everybody, get your money in. We don't do any of that stuff. It's really just, we have a few ads that air. And look, God provides. We believe this is his radio station. We get to be involved with it, and he really does provide.
Look, guys,
I just say as well in terms of people getting in.
Sorry, Michael.
So I was just going to say, could I just say another area I just encourage people to be a part of, and that is prayer. Prayer is an amazing and powerful thing, and we've seen in the regions where people are aware they've got a radio station in the area, where people are praying, and where people are asking God to use the radio to connect with people. We've seen results. I remember back in the early years, we had some little towns in Tasmania where they were not big towns, and yet people were praying down there and asking God. We knew that there was a really strong prayer network, and we saw it statistically in the number of responses of listener replies there. We've seen that in other areas, and prayer is a powerful thing. Whether it be praying for the listeners who are out there, whether it be asking God to provide opportunities for new programs, whether it be asking God to provide opportunities, new stations, whatever it is. So if even if you can't do anything else, don't feel like prayer is nothing, because prayer is one of the most important things of all. And there's a big spiritual battle out there, and there's the forces of evil and the forces of good are battling one another in this world. And whenever we are attacking the kingdom of darkness through the light of God's word, the battle's real. So please do join us in prayer, and asking God to intervene in the lives of people and to bring His light, His joy, His peace, and that positively different life that He wants to bring to everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Well, sorry, we'll need to finish off now, and we've got some other stuff we need to cover off tonight.
Can I say something? Michael touched on about prayer, and Robbie talked about how this lady heard this, this sermon that was on the topic. Every time, just about, when I get in my car, I'm listening to it and I need something, I know that God is behind this station, because something comes on just at the right time, just when I'm starting the car. That is exactly what I need. So this is why I know that this ministry is blessed, and this is why I support this ministry. And this is why also I'm asking our viewers to just find out for yourself what we are saying, because it changes lives for sure.
Aren't you grateful that I introduced you to Faith FM?
But 2008 took me a long time. Better late than never. But thank you, guys. You've been awesome.
How long has Faith FM been on air? Somebody asked. 2008 was it?
14.
2014.
14. Oh, 14.
So that's 8 years.
2008 being 14 years, and so we're about to celebrate the 15th birthday next year. Yep.
Oh wow! Big celebration. Great. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you. And we really hope that through people watching this on Facebook and YouTube, that they'll actually be encouraged to listen to Faith FM and share it with other people as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
See you later. Thank you. And I love the station.
Yeah, it's great.
Love it.
Corinne, well, we've got a recipe coming up now from Bibi, and so looking forward to that. So let's have a look at Bibi's recipe.
There we go.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Living News channel. My name is Bibi, and before I start sharing with you my recipe, I would like to encourage you guys to leave us a comment of what you'd like to hear from us, what recipe you'd like to learn, even a topic of what you would like us to present. Give us suggestions so that we can improve and we can be more effective and more efficient all around. Today I'd like to share with you something a little bit different. It's not a cooking recipe. It's a recipe that my grandmother used to make every single winter to prevent her grandchildren and the whole family from getting down with flu. And as we all notice, there's flu going all around. Almost every second person comes down with really bad flu. So here we go. So what we need for this recipe is onion, garlic, ginger, chili, fresh, or cayenne pepper, lemon, turmeric. I use fresh, or you can use powder, honey, apple cider, and we're going to use for this recipe 2 wide mouth jars. I'm going to show you 2 different versions, one using honey and apple cider, and one using just apple cider without the honey. So what you need to do, you need to very roughly slice onion. There's no cookie cutter rule. Do the same with your garlic. It doesn't have to be in fine pieces, just roughly chopped. Same with your turmeric. With chili, you've got to be very mindful. If you can tolerate spiciness and the hotness, go for it, knock yourself out. But be mindful of children, so you can skip chili. Your recipe included only the onion, and I've added all the other components, so onion and honey or sugar. The lemon, make sure that you wash the skin really well before you onion and garlic are the main ingredients. So if you don't have the other ingredients, you can totally skip it. Okay, so our jars are ready. So with a spoon, push it all down. I will add about 5-6 tablespoons of apple cider. You can add more if you want. There's no specific amount. In the second jar, I will add about 2 heaped tablespoons of honey. You can add extra if you want, and about 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. After sitting on the bench for about 20 minutes, you will see that there's a lot of syrup produced already, so it's ready for you to take it. You take the syrup orally. If you're not well, I would suggest 1 tablespoon every 15 minutes. I would also suggest that you don't wait for the flu season to make this syrup, but with natural remedies, you've got to build up your immune system to make it stronger. So make it in advance and start taking before we get into the flu season.
All right. So, BB, you sent us some. I wonder what it tastes like. Did you get some from BB as well?
Yeah. Look, I got some too, Corinne.
Oh, you know what?
It says Grandma's flu syrup, apple cider.
Apple cider. Mine says Grandma's flu syrup. I've got the honey and the apple cider.
Grandma's.
So we're gonna
Where is it,
try it out for you.
There you go.
You know, with the chili and the lemon. Thank you, BB, for
Pretty
thinking
strong.
of us. I've been feeling a little bit not under the weather for the last couple of days. So I'm going to try it. And she said you don't have to wait till you're
Oh, you
sick.
can see the chili in there. Look, all the red chilies.
Whoa. Smells good.
It's not bad.
I can't. Oh,
No, you can't. You sometimes.
it's sweet.
Oh, yours got honey. Mine doesn't have honey.
Oh.
But it's still not bad, though. It's pretty good. So anyway, BB, thank you very much. Really liked it.
Mine is delicious. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be like a lolly. It's supposed to be
She said you can have it
medicine.
before. She said you can have it before. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, BB.
Thanks, BB.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to your next recipe, next episode. So we're looking forward to that.
It's easy to make as well. I mean, when you think about it, I love natural stuff, right? And when you think about it, a lemon, some chilies, fresh turmeric, garlic, onions. Come on, they're just stuff that you can just get at your local supermarket, but yet so good for you. Why wouldn't you want to try it? Why would you want to take stuff from the chemist?
Well, Corinne, that was great, but we need to move on.
Mine is really good.
So
Mine is really
now,
good.
what's Therese saying? I do recommend this remedy. We normally just do the onions and the honey. Yeah, that's what I've normally done too. The onions and honey, and the onions actually melt in the honey.
You can't taste the onion.
Yeah.
For people who don't, you think, oh, I don't want to taste of chili or whatever. Honestly, you can't taste any of it unless you put a little bit of the onion.
Yeah.
Like you actually put some on in your mouth.
Yeah, but
But
the
the
longer
actual
it
syrup-
sits, the more the onion melts,
Mm.
and it becomes part of the syrup. So,
Feels
Yep.
good. Feels nice and warm inside.
wow. How long
Try
will it keep for? I don't know. If BB's online, she can tell us, but I think it keeps for quite a while.
I think you can put it in the fridge, she said.
Yeah.
Put it in the fridge. But if you're sick, you probably go through that in no time at all.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And look, we've got our next episode, our next segment is a testimony by a young man called Rob, and he had a really interesting experience. And so we just want to share. We asked him if he could share his experience with us. So let's have a look at Rob's message for us.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Rob, thank you for being willing to join us today. And as we just discussed some of your history and some of the walks that you've had.
Yeah, no worries at all. I remember there was a series he got me to watch called Hell's Bells, which was all about, you know, satanic influence and occult influence in the rock music industry.
Yeah.
And I was really into rock music and punk music and heavy metal music and stuff at the time. So although it didn't make me change my mind instantly, I did sort of, you know, find it interesting what these people had to say and how they were showing that, you know, the top rock musicians are, you know, worshipping the devil and stuff like that, and all of their lyrics and music is satanic. 5 or 6 years, and I got more into the rock music, and I never really played music, but I would go out to gigs every weekend and got a bit more into partying and drugs and stuff once I was, you know, 17, 18, going out to clubs and concerts and stuff like that. And I think the point that was the biggest turning point when I went to a particular music festival that was out in the bush, and I'd been to a couple of other music festivals before, but this one was particularly sort of occult and satanic feeling. I remember one of the first things I noticed when I got there, driving into the campsite or whatever, is I noticed a lady wearing a shirt that just had printed across the front in massive letters, pagan. I thought, that's interesting, you know, that was some of the stuff that we used to hear about, that my dad used to talk about and used to see on some of these videos and stuff. But I didn't take too much notice of it. It didn't really, you know, shake me up too much or anything. I just noticed it. Yeah. Anyway, as the festival progressed, we were, you know, just doing normal sort of festival partying stuff, and there was dance music and stuff like this. And the festival was on an eclipse blood moon, they call it. And if you know anything about paganism and witchcraft and stuff like that, they love stuff like that. You know, they worship the moon and nature and the solstices and all of that sort of stuff. So going from a fairly normal music festival feeling and party to when the moon actually started to eclipse, things really rapidly changed, and it was quite shocking and scary.
Just about to ask, was it a bit scary?
In what way was that scary, Rob?
So, as the moon started to eclipse, it basically, you know, the music and the feeling at the party went from being, you know, sort of upbeat and happy to they started playing not really normal dance music anymore, just like droning bass sounds, and they had their speakers and their music tent set up so that it was facing like a big mountain or a small mountain or a big hill. There was no trees at this site, so it was just like a clear open field and a huge hill pointing straight at the moon, and they had all of their speakers blasting this music sort of straight up the moon. And I just started to notice what was going on, I think, and think this is, you know, sort of strange. This seems like more than just a normal, you know, party or music festival. These people seem like they're maybe, you know, having some sort of worship or something towards this event, to this eclipse. And within minutes of the moon eclipsing and this all happening, the whole atmosphere changed. You could tell it was getting a bit more sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but you could see the demonic look in like a lot of people's eyes and the feeling of the party. And within moments, the temperature dropped like 10 degrees to, you know, the point where it was all of a sudden it was really cold, and there was a thick fog that came in like out of nowhere, where you couldn't see more than about 5 or 10 metres in front of you. And this was all within a couple of minutes as the moon eclipsed and as all this sort of stuff was going on. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, you know. Like this isn't just a party, this is like an occult ritual.
Yeah.
How were you feeling then? Like, tell us about your feelings.
I just went into total shock, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
From there, as I said, it just really hit me hard, and I couldn't really enjoy myself or concentrate anymore. So I went back to the campsite and just tried to relax and calm down. And but I really just went into a state of shock from there for quite a few days. So the rest of the festival, I wanted to just get up and leave, to be honest, but I knew I couldn't because I had been drinking and partying and stuff like that. So I wasn't in any state to drive. So
was that a turning point for you, or?
It was, in the sense that it was the first time in about 10 years where I really actually recognised anything spiritual. I think the big shock for me is I noticed that this was definitely like not just a normal party and there was spiritual stuff going on, but I knew instantly that it was satanic because of the stuff that I'd been taught when I was younger. And I think the biggest shock for me was, well, that means that all of this stuff that my dad was telling me when I was younger is real. I can't ignore it anymore.
Yeah.
Because, I was going about my life as if none of that even mattered or existed,
Yeah.
And I think the scariest thing for me is I knew that I had to change my lifestyle. And I didn't want to change.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
So I went into a sort of shock for a few days, and when I went home and I really felt just shaky and couldn't really concentrate or talk to anyone, I was just thinking about it non-stop. And after a few days, I met up with my friends again that I went to the festival with, and I tried to tell them that I thought I wanted to convince myself that it wasn't real, so I tried to tell them that I thought I'd had a bad drug experience, a bad drug trip, and I must have imagined all of this stuff. And that sort of calmed me down a bit to the point where I could deal with it. But in the back of my mind, I still knew I was just lying to myself just to try and, not have to change.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went probably about a year or so. I went on sort of just going about my life as usual, still doing the same sort of stuff, but I still had these thoughts every day, and I couldn't get rid of them.
Yeah.
I would always come back to thinking about that experience, and I'd just try and push it out of my mind. But no matter what I did, I sort of knew in the back of my mind, like, you're just kidding yourself. You know it was really true. It really happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, after about a year or so, I think, I was at home one night on the weekend by myself, and it just came too much. I just was thinking about it and sort of thought, nah, it's true, stop denying it. So I just got on my knees for the first time in my life. I ever prayed a real prayer. I just prayed a short 5-10 second prayer to God. I said, Lord, I believe what happened to me, that experience was real, and I believe that you are real, and that Jesus is really the Son of God. And I don't really know what that means for me, but I'm just telling you that I confess to you and to all of the angels in heaven that I believe that it's real.
Yeah.
And instantly I felt like such a strange feeling, like a weight lifted off my chest, but also like a fire inside of my body or something like that. It's like a feeling I never felt in my life, like elated, but also like my heart was beating in my chest so fast. Like, what have you just done? Is this the most significant thing you've ever done in your life?
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because within a few moments I had like sort of not like an audible voice in my head, but just like a thought, like, if you're really serious about this, the thing you're most scared of about, becoming a Christian is telling all of your peers and all of your friends, because I always had this sort of fear that, my friends were going to laugh at me because none of my friends were Christians. And I didn't change my lifestyle instantly in any way, really. I was smoking dope all the time, still going out partying and stuff all the time. But from that day, it never really was the same anymore. I constantly had this sort of feeling like, you don't really enjoy this anymore. Why are you doing it? You're just doing it out of habit. It's just what you used to. And slowly after, months and years, things just started to drop away. I stopped smoking dope, and I stopped going out every weekend partying, and I got more into going out into nature and just enjoying life for being life. It's just been a journey. And it was just, even though I was still doing it for a while, I never really enjoyed it in the same way that I used to. So slowly things started to change.
I like what you said also, Rob, that you said that, you've been doing it for so long and you had known about God, but it was at the time where you actually made that connection yourself with God that you saw the change. So I always believe that you can know about this God, but really he wants to know us on a personal level. Yeah,
it wasn't until I said to him that I believe in you and I want to know you that my life started to change.
You just
so come to Jesus first, and then your life changes. Yeah. But some people think they have to change before they come to Jesus.
No, you don't. You don't. It's a wonderful testimony.
Thank you very much, Rob. Well, Corinne, what an interesting story.
It definitely is, and and Michael was also talking about, there's forces out there, whether you want to believe it or not. There's evil and good sources out there, and that was his testimony, actually, witnessing that and going through that. But of course, the good side, God's side, always wins.
Yeah, the thing that's sad about this is that the amount of young people that are getting caught up in this type of stuff. Thinking, it's just a bit of entertainment. Who cares? But there's a lot of evil stuff happening in the background, and people are just getting absorbed into it without even realizing. And it's so infiltrated in the music these days. And I go to the gym in the mornings, not every day, but quite often. And some of the music that they play there, I just got to basically put my earpods in as deep as I can and put my podcast up as loud as I can.
Your Faith FM on.
Yeah, just to avoid all
absolutely.
that music that's in the gym, because it's terrible stuff. And it's very demonic.
Absolutely. What I do like, Johnny, is the fact that people might say, I've even heard my own children say, you've lost, your old generation, like we passed that stage of listening to that. But really, this is coming from a young guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I forget what we have to say, but really, this is coming from a young person himself, saying that, hey, it wasn't right. It didn't feel right because, it wasn't right. Yeah. So thank you, Rob, for really sharing that testimony. And like you said, Johnny, there's more people out there, and that are experimenting, even wanting to find out. You should really just be careful because it's not a game.
Yeah, and I just really pray and hope that somebody out there will be listening to Rob's story tonight, or even later on, if they watch this program later on, that they're actually
have a look at that.
Help them to wake up to it.
Therese just shared something about even a family member who attends these festivals. So, I know, like you said, a lot of the young people, this is the trend. It's festivals and, I guess we need to pray for them. Yeah.
No, again, thank you very much, Rob. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. And it brings us to our next segment, really, which is really talking about salt and light.
Yeah.
And and God, if you choose God as the light, there's a darkness and there's a light. Choose the light, because it will be something that's really good for you.
Yeah.
And as we play this song.
But what I like about this song as well is the salt and light, that we are called to be the salt of the earth.
That's true.
And the light, and to be on a mountain and not hidden. And I think of Faith FM. They're a real light. They're the salt to the earth to tell people about the good news. So
I like that.
Yeah. So let's have a listen to Salt and Light by Isabel.
Salt and light, all the love that set me free. You bring hope to those in need. You have and light. You were love's great height. You were deep and wide, a consuming fire. You were salt and light. You were love's great height. You were deep and wide, a consuming fire. Let my eyes see your kingdom shine all around. Let my heart overflow with passion for your name. Let my life be a song revealing who you are. For you were salt and light. You were salt and light. You were salt and light. You were salt and light.
Wow, another beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
The words are just, it's a prayer. I always say that, you know.
As Iris says, Amen. We agree with you, Iris. Amen.
Yes, we do indeed. Well, that's the end
Comes
of another
episode. So thank you very much, Corinne. Thank you,
Thank you,
audience. And thank you for the team behind the scenes, Danubia, Chimuka, Samantha, Dennis. Thank you for the great work that you're doing behind the scenes
Yes, absolutely.
each episode. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
And I think next month we're getting our book review back.
Yes.
So-
She'll be back from holidays.
We're back from holidays,
Yes.
and we're looking forward to another book review
Yes,
next time.
for sure.
So we've got got another good program lined up for next episode. I'm not going to give anything away, but that'll be good.
Always, yes.
And so looking forward to that. And thank you very much. And
yeah.
look, don't forget, folks, just share Living News with your friends on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. And don't forget to like us and subscribe. And when you subscribe, you get advance notice. There you go. Up on the screen there's a like button there, the subscribe, and way over there is the share button. So please do that, and so that this good news can get out to as many people as possible. We've got viewers. I've had comments, Corinne, from people in New Zealand. We've got a few
Wow.
viewers from New Zealand. Somebody this week from New South Wales. Around Australia, we've got Queensland. We've got Perth. Somebody, I know somebody's contacted us in Perth, and overseas.
Wow.
We've got in America and in Mauritius. We've had people comment that they're watching Living News.
Very
So
good.
share it around so more
Yeah.
people can get the good news.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, stay blessed. Until next time. Thank you again for joining us.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you next time. And please, like Atta said, if you've got any anything you'd like us to have
Yeah, to
on
cover
an
off.
episode,
Yep.
whether it would be a recipe or anything else, or if you know someone that's got a great story like Rob's that you want to share, look, we'd love to get in touch with
Yeah.
them. Please let us
or,
know.
or even if you've got a good topic that somebody's
Yeah,
got a good
absolutely.
ministry, something great, some great news that you want that you think is worth sharing, let us know. Contact us on either Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get back to you.
We will. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.